going to be complicated, I think, for a few reasons. But I'll talk about why after, because it will make more sense if you know how the system's going to work.
Okay.
So the way I have described this to a lot of people, and I've heard other people say it this way too, so I'm not, saying this is my own unique thought, but basically this new system is if FastPass Plus, which we used to have before the pandemic, and Genie Plus got married and had a baby, it would be this new thing we're going to have.
Oh, I never want Roe v. Wade to be overturned.
I'm going to say
back so fast.
That'd be an abomination. I don't.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a combination of FastPass Plus and Genie Plus. And it is called, there's going to be two different systems. Kind of like Genie Plus is a separate system from individual lightning lanes right now. That's going to stay the same. So there will still be two different systems. So there'll be the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, which is going to be what we think of as Genie Plus right now. And then there'll be the Lightning Lane Single Pass. And that's what we currently think of as the individual lightning lanes. So they are kind of, I think, simplifying the language in a way that is better, right? So this Genie Plus thing, people are like, what's Genie Plus? And I'd have to be like, Genie Plus is the service you buy to access the lightning lane. And then people will be like, well, what's the lightning lane? And I'm like, well, the lightning lane is a physical space and Genie Plus allows you to access this physical space. And it was just a lot.
Let me just comment on the name real quick, because this is something that I think is an improvement.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Genie Plus and then they had the individual lightning came out and we were doing this on the show. I'm like, why the hell do we have two freaking names or whatever for the system? It's like before it was like either FastPass, FastPass Plus. Pretty simple, straightforward.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they came out with this conglomeration craziness. And I was like, this is the dumbest thing. So I'm calling this, and we can feel free to take this. I'm calling this a lightning lane system. That's it.
Yeah.
It's either multi-pass or the single pass. That's it. But it's the lightning lane system because it's the same. It's one name.
Well, props on getting rid of the plus. I like that. I'm tired of the plus. Enough of the plus.
I agree.
Plussed out.
Yeah.
We're plussed out.
Because like plus what?
Yeah.
Plus one.
Plus one.
Plus this. Yeah. I got so funny plus.
So Lightning Lane is the system, and we have multi-pass and single pass. I guess I'll talk about single pass first because it's the easiest. It's really not changing. It's just individual Lightning Lane. It's the same as it was before. So, and all the same attractions are still going to be individual Lightning Lane single pass purchases, however you want to say it. So none of that is changing. The only thing that's changing for Lightning Lane single pass is that you'll be able to book these ahead of your trip. So now instead of waking up at 7 a.m. and booking it on the day you're going to visit, you also wake up at 7 a.m., but you can do it 7 days prior to your trip.
At home.
Mm-hmm.
At home, if you are staying on property. So if you're at a Disney resort or the other qualifying resorts, so like Swan and Dolphin, those ones, then you'll be able to do it 7 days ahead of your trip. If you are not at a Disney resort, but you have a date-based ticket, you'll be able to do it 3 days prior to your trip. And then if you have the type of ticket that is not date-based and requires a theme park reservation, so like an annual pass or a conference ticket, those folks can make it 3 days before the visit to the park. And so the difference there is if my ticket was valid from July 27th to August 5th, then July 24th, I could make all my Lightning Lane reservations for the entire length of my ticket valid dates. The tickets that require park reservations, you're only going to be able to do it 1 day at a time, 3 days ahead.
Oh, I'll just never buy an annual pass then.
Yeah. So basically this only impacts annual pass holders and people who have conference tickets or people who have those like weird tickets that are from a million years ago.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So most people will be able to book 7 days prior to their vacation because they're staying on Disney property. If you have a date-based ticket, then it's 3 days prior. And then again, it's 3 days before your park visit if you have an annual pass or a non-date-based ticket.
I kind of feel bad for those season, well, I'm calling the season ticket holders to lump everybody in. You know, when the annual pass holders, the Florida resident pass holders, I guess are affected too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some language somewhere in there that says they get to change how it works whenever they want to.
That's what I was gonna say. It sounds like a Windows operating system. Like once the bugs come out and they figure it out, then here comes that next update that you have to have, and so on and so forth.
And you may not know this, but it is true now as well. You can only have a maximum of 2 of the individual Lightning lanes per day. And that will be true with Lightning Lane single pass as well. You can only book a maximum of 2 per day. So if you're park hopping, you could book Rise of the Resistance and Tron, but you couldn't book Rise of the Resistance, Tron, and Guardians of the Galaxy. It's only a maximum of 2 per day.
They could have called this Lightning Lane a la carte.
Yeah, but that's kind of a Lightning Lane single pass. Yeah.
I would have preferred Lightning Lane a la carte, but we'll get there.
So that's the only change with what we currently call individual Lightning Lane is just that you can now book those ahead of time instead of having to do it while you're on your trip.
Still at 7 a.m.
Yes.
Still at 7 a.m, but not while you're on vacation.
But you're at home.
Well, that's
So I
fair.
guess,
It makes the vacation a little less stressful as a
Not
person
really.
that had someone book trips for him before at 7 in the morning. Be like, I am so sorry.
No, because I would just roll back to bed. I mean, come on. I'm not staying up.
I know, but then we go in there like, hey, book this at 7 in the morning. Make sure you're happy. Like,
Or
thank you.
you're smart and you hire a travel agent to be like, I got that for you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, and I do think this is worth talking about. We are kind of thinking about how this is going to work because Disney has added a few